This is Santino Marella, and you're watching Count It Out with Mike and Tyler.
Listening to Count It Out with Mike and Tyler.
Well, we are live, pals. And once again, you're joining up with the Bill Apter Sealed of Approved, Count It Out with Mike and Tyler. And of course, we're taking a little divot this week. And once again, we are joined by my one and only, well, I got many good friends, but he's the one and only Adam Contant. How are you, buddy?
Well, I mean, when you get an extra introduction as the one and only from the one and only,
that's it.
You can't really beat that, I think. So I'm feeling great, man. I am ready to talk all things Royal Rumble. It is Royal Rumble season. Have you caught the fever? Have you caught the fever, Mike?
Dude, I catch Royal Rumble fever on January 1st. Royal Rumble has always been my favorite pay-per-view, pretty much my entire the span of my fandom. And at least since 1992, because that's the very first pay-per-view I ever got to watch live at a friend's house. So since that moment, Royal Rumble's been ingrained in me. I love the Royal Rumble. When January hits, it's not a new year to me. It's Royal Rumble season. It's that's what it is to me. And so I'm always gung-ho. I love January for this reason. So I'm excited to talk about some Royal Rumble this week. I do have some housekeeping to take care of. We'll start off by thanking our last couple weeks worth of guests. Blue Meanie for coming on a couple weeks ago. He was a lot of fun to have on. Thank you so much, Meanie. Guys, don't forget this coming Saturday, if you're around the Toronto area, go check out Blue Meanie. They're doing 3 shows in one day at the Catacombs Cabaret. It's going to be see if I can remember how he's doing this. It's going to start off with a Royal Rumble watch along. You get to watch the Royal Rumble with the Blue Meanie. How cool is that? You get to following that. It's going to be ECW trivia against the Blue Meanie, and then a live podcast with Blue Meanie as the guest at the end of the night. 3 shows, 1 bill. You can't go wrong with that. That's going to be a lot of fun. The week after that, Wei Ting came on. Thank you so much to Wei Ting. If you don't listen to Post Wrestling, then you're not getting accurate wrestling news. That's all I can say. The most credible journalists in the podcast game today being John Pollock and Wei Ting. Thank you so much, guys. On top of that, there's some other things I need you to listen to because, I have a lot of fun on this show, but sometimes for some weird reason, other people seem to enjoy my presence and they get me and Tyler to help them with their shows. Right now, if you go over to Tom Talks Rubbish on YouTube, you'll see me appear on the latest episode of his show, and that was a lot of fun. If you keep looking into the future, probably in the next few weeks, my friend here, Adam Contant, will be jumping over to the across the pond to have a good chat with Tom as well. I look forward to that episode. This coming Thursday, when you're done listening to Count It Out with Mike and Tyler on Thursday, wait a couple hours, then that night, tune in to TSN 690 Radio at 11 o'clock at night to The Draw. And me and Tyler get to jump on with Eric and Randy. We had a fun time recording with those guys. That goes live this Thursday, 11 o'clock, 690 a.m. That's going to be a lot of fun. And the last piece of housekeeping I got to do is the last episode of a podcast that I was able to be part of. And I want to talk about right now because it hasn't aired yet. It's going to air in about a month. I had a lot of fun doing it. It's called Talk Solid Wrestling. And we are sitting right here with the host of Talk Solid Wrestling. Adam, tell me all about your new project, buddy.
Well, thanks for giving me the floor, man. I really appreciate it. And thanks for coming on. Yes, in just a few weeks on February 17th, Talk Solid Wrestling debuts, and we're going one-on-one with one of your favorites, Uncle Custom, Marcus Ryan. What an incredible conversation that I got to have with him, talking a lot about his early days in wrestling, teaming with the notorious TID, and how that differs from teaming with his nephew, Mikey Jenkins. We go one-on-one for 20 minutes, as we are known to do in the podcast. And the first 6 guests are going to be released soon on our socials. But here's a spoiler. You will be guest number 2 on February
number
24th.
Number 2.
So I've seen in many bathroom stalls across the province.
Said the greatest 2 words in the English language: default.
February 24th. Keep that date in mind. That will be Mike's debut, but certainly not his last appearance on Talk Solid Wrestling, the official podcast of Rock Solid Wrestling. Check out the pod. It's going to be on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you find great podcasts. You can watch it on YouTube, or you can get it early at rocksolidfanclub.ca. Episode 1 with Uncle Custom is already up there right now.
Ooh.
So, and here's the best part. Here's another extra thing for you. These are free on the fan club. So if you want to join the fan club and like maybe you don't have the means to throw a couple ducats in the bucket, we'll throw back there. That's okay. You can join at the free tier and you will get the podcast early. So jump on, join the fan club for free and get the podcast early.
Now, I don't know if you were aware of this. I have thrown ducats in the bucket. I am in the fan club. I am going to go listen to that show tomorrow. I can't wait to do that. Fantastic. Before we move on, is it okay with you? I want to ask you a couple questions about the birth of this new project of yours.
Please do.
Because since the day you told me that you were going to do this, I've been interested. I've been wanting to talk to you about this. So let's start off with why now? It's been over 6 years since you decided to hang it up with WrestleMedia. You haven't done, other than appearing on this show and other shows and helping out here and there, you haven't done anything of your own since WrestleMedia. After 6.5 years, why now? Why is this the time for a brand new project for Adam Contant?
Well, I won't go into too many details because that is a very long and personal story, but I'll kind of give you the Cole's notes of it. The truth of the matter is I had a real, I won't call it a crisis of faith, but I'll call it a crisis of confidence after WrestleMedia. And to make a very long and personal story short, the guys at Rock Solid Wrestling, one guy in particular who runs the place, really allowed me to build that confidence back up. But it takes time, and it wasn't built in a day. So it had to start small and continue to build with project after project. And there were a few things that I wanted to do with Rock Solid Wrestling, get established with Rock Solid Wrestling before I knew that I would have the time and the energy to dedicate to a project like Talk Solid Wrestling. I knew if I was going to do it, I wanted to do it the right way. So a lot of pieces had to be put in place first before I could. The timing was right. So we decided, well, let's start the new year off in a big way. We're already got some big plans this year. We've been announcing our end of the year awards every week. And of course, we've got our big show coming up in Wasaga Beach on Family Day, February 16th at Snowman Mania, our first big event of 2026. We thought, what a wonderful way to coincide with it by also, excuse me, not February 26th, January 16th. I'm sorry. Why not start off the new year in a big way by coinciding that with a podcast, the one we've been working on for a while. So the timing just kind of worked itself out.
Amazing. How does it feel to get back behind the mic? Like I said, you've been doing, you fill in here, you do your own stuff, but how does it feel to get back behind the mic on your own project again?
Well, if I may, I'll just say, take a listen to the episodes and you will know exactly how I feel. It feels great, especially when I get an opportunity to talk with not only members of Rock Solid Wrestling's roster, but also behind the scenes players, people of great importance within the organization, and of course, friends of the show and of the company. Like I said, the guest list will be out very soon, but you, of course, are a friend of the show. You and Tyler have been sponsors of our shows in the past. Our friend Matthew Sukram from the Frontline podcast, or from the Troops Trio podcast, is going to be a guest on there as well. There's going to be all kinds of people that maybe you wouldn't expect to see on a Rock Solid Wrestling podcast, but that's kind of the beauty of the podcast, is that it's not just Rock Solid Wrestling, it's us just talking wrestling. Hence the name Talk Solid Wrestling. It just happens to also have the official seal of Rock Solid Wrestling behind it, which makes it extra special for me.
It's not quite the Bell After seal of approval, but it's just underneath. It's a pretty rock solid seal to have, I would say.
I see what you did there. And hey, who knows, man? I bet you I could get Uncle Bill on the show. Maybe I could get him on there.
Make sure you read his book.
Mike, help me get Bill After on the show, please.
I'll peel the curtain back. If I was to try to get Bill After on the show right now, he'd say, "Who is this?" I'd say, well, I have the Bill After seal of approved show. And he'll say, "Oh, Ricky Morton?"
And you'll say, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Let me tell you about this kid up north. Adam's putting on a podcast. I think you like it. That's my Ricky Morton. My terrible Ricky Morton.
That's a great segue, because Bill After kind of is involved in something I wanted to talk about before we get into our main Royal Rumble conversation.
All right.
This past week on Raw, we saw what is most likely, well, for sure, AJ Styles' very last appearance in Toronto, Canada. Very possibly his very last Monday Night Raw. Not for sure, but possibly. And during that Raw, he took on CM Punk, and it was a no contest due to interference by Finn Balor. Now, I'm going to get into opinions on both my opinion and your opinion of that in a second. But a man who made his opinion very clear within a minute of the show ending was Bill Apter. He jumped on his personal social media, and he was not a happy camper. He came on and voiced his displeasure very early on about how Finn involving himself in the match made no sense. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't do anything for anybody. All it did was ruin a very good main event. And I got to say, a lot of times I love Bill to death, and I usually agree with him, but this is one of those times, Uncle Bill, I think you're wrong. I think that this was a perfect way to end that match. Number one, I guarantee there was talks in the back of especially AJ going, if this is one of my last matches, I want Finn involved. Very easy to think that he would want one of his best friends and greatest rivals involved in this match against one of his other greatest rivals. It only makes sense to me. Second, this story being told over the last few weeks does make this make sense. And then you say, a lot of people are complaining, oh, WWE, that's so dumb, not letting him into the Royal Rumble. Why wouldn't you let him to the Royal Rumble? Well, look what he did. Now he's forcing himself into something. You don't think he's going to end up going up against CM Punk, probably at the Royal Rumble? Like, just let them cook is all I'm saying. I think this could be something very good. I think this is going to work in Finn Balor's favor. What say you?
I have a feeling maybe it's Bill working. It's a good way to get I mean, look, he's 100%. A master worker. He worked all of us for decades with those magazines, right?
For sure.
So, I mean, who knows? I have a feeling it's Bill just going on there and making noise and, getting people to talk about him. So maybe that's what it is. If he really feels that way, that's absolutely his opinion of it, and he's allowed to have it. But I think I would lean with you and say that I think it made logical sense. I don't think it's silly to say, oh, well, why wouldn't there be any spots left in the Rumble? That's completely logical. It's not illogical as far as I can tell. I mean, I thought the ending was a good way to protect Punk and AJ Styles. Yep. So, and it puts Finn, the attention back on him. I think that it would bother me more to have Finn do a sudden 180 face turn out of nowhere. I think this makes him a more complex character to be conflicted about it, to say, I like the respect that I got from CM Punk. but I want that world title just a little bit more. And maybe the reason that I didn't win is because maybe I am soft. Well, I'm not going to be soft anymore. The dude's been a bad guy for the last how many years? So it doesn't make sense for him to turn on a dime. It makes
Exactly.
way more sense for this to become a slow burn, a story about his redemption over time. So I had no problem with it. In the moment, I was upset. It was like, come on. But that was me getting worked.
Yeah,
I'm
for
supposed
sure.
you're supposed to be upset. That's the
If
point.
if they don't end up having, I think a lot of people disagree on me on this. I wouldn't mind seeing an impromptu championship match happening at Royal Rumble between Punk and Balor. If that doesn't happen, I think what I could see him happening is him ending up taking either JD McDonough's spot or Dom Mysterio's spot in the Rumble.
Javon Evans. Beat up Javon Evans.
Sure.
Popular babyface. You want to continue to get him heat?
I just like the idea of causing more turmoil within the Judgment Day.
It's an interesting way to take it. I mean, I see your side of it 100%. But I would say that if you want to build him more heat and make him seem more vicious, have him take out a babyface that people want to see. And then say, like, I don't care what you fans think. I'm here to win titles. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I like it as well. One way or another, I do think we'll be seeing Finn Balor on Saturday.
Yeah, I can imagine so as well. And we'll all be better for it.
One thing we won't be seeing on Saturday, which was a surprise to me, and I want to know how you feel about it, is a one-on-one women's match. Now, a lot of these pay-per-views in the Triple H era have been four match cards. And usually when it's a big match like this, like the Royal Rumble or Money in the Bank or Elimination Chamber, he'll sandwich it. The big match opens, the big match ends, and two in the middle. One of them is usually a women's match. Royal Rumble, we're not getting a women's championship match. We're not getting a United States match. We're getting two men's matches, a men's Rumble and a women's Rumble. Do you have any issue with us not getting a platform for a Stephanie Vaquer or finally maybe a Jade Cargill defense? We're not getting any of this at Royal Rumble. Do you have any personal issue with that?
No, not at all. And I'll tell you the reason why. Timing. It's just a matter of timing, right? You look at the list of the matches they have on there right now. There's 4 matches officially announced as of this recording.
Yeah.
The time is right to do those matches in that location at this time. The Stephanie Vaquer Raquel Rodriguez match has been announced for Monday Night Raw the following night, which is fine.
Yeah.
Who knows what they will do on SmackDown, if they will do Jordan Grace versus Jade Cargill then or some other time. You have hours and hours of time to fill every week. I think it's a good strategy to say, yeah, we've got these big blockbuster matches on the pay-per-view, but we also have a big time title match coming up on Raw and a big time title match on SmackDown, all those things.
And we're returning to an era where anything can happen on television. Look how many title changes we've seen on SmackDown or Raw in the last 6 weeks.
That's what I mean. So if you're trying to make your programming must see, that's a good way to do it. So no, I don't have a problem with it. I think, again, looking at the card, there are matches I feel that are more important to be on there rather than saying, well, we need to have a women's title match on there.
Right.
Like I said, I think you could easily put Raquel Rodriguez versus Stephanie Vaquer. There has been enough care and time and story put into that you could put it on the card and it would be fine. But look, you can't sacrifice a Rumble match.
Well, obviously not.
Sammy and Drew, I think, belongs on that card specifically because of how over Zayn is in Saudi Arabia. Gunther AJ Styles, of course, has to be on there for reasons I'm sure we'll get into later. So, I mean, which one of those do you take off, right?
I do completely agree with you. I was disappointed at first from a selfish standpoint, only because I always want Stephanie Vaquer on my television at all times. She think is possibly in my top 3 favorite wrestlers to watch right now. I always want to see her in a match. So to have her not on a pay-per-view, that from a selfish standpoint, that's why I'm a little upset by it. From a logistical standpoint, it makes sense. This is the card. This is the way the card should be.
You get it on Monday. Quit whining. Just wait a day.
Wait the day.
You impatient goober.
You mentioned AJ versus Gunther. We'll talk about that before we go to Sammy and Drew.
Sure.
AJ and Gunther, when they first announced it was going to be for his career, now we all know that AJ announced very publicly that 2026 was his last year. But I think we all expected we'd have him till at least somewhere between WrestleMania and SummerSlam. So when he announced that this match on Saturday was for his career, I think it threw everybody for a loop. My assumption at first was, oh, they're going to find a way around this. They're doing this so we think he's going to retire this Saturday, and then they're going to swerve us. There's no way he's going to miss out on this WrestleMania payday. That's silly. Then happened the Shinsuke tweet. I want to know what you think of the Shinsuke tweet. Do you think this is a legit mistake by Shinsuke, or do you think this is something that Shinsuke and the WWE have concocted together to get us talking?
I think it was a very human response to an emotional thing that was happening to somebody very close and special to him. So yes, I think it was real.
So I think it was so you think AJ is retiring on Saturday?
Yeah, I do. I mean, look, I was definitely one of the people that was in the camp of, oh, maybe like Gunther will get himself disqualified so that like blah, blah, blah. And you know, it wasn't even the Shinsuke thing, but it was a lot of different things. The Shinsuke thing, watching it going like, ooh, this feels like this is AJ's like final meal. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This feels like he went to them and be like, look, can I have a match with Shinsuke? And then like, oh yeah, of course. Then the Punk thing. Although, you know, like I completely understand why people would be like, but they're trying to make it look like you're right. It absolutely could be. But all of that. And then, of course, it hit me the other day when Tyler in our chat group posted AJ Styles' debut at the Royal Rumble 2016, 10 years ago. And I thought, how did I miss this? How did I miss the poetry of him retiring at the same event he debuted at 10 years prior? And look, here's the thing. AJ Styles, I think in the last week has fought everybody that he has history with in that company. Like, really, are we missing anybody? Maybe Roman Reigns, but like, that's about it. Maybe, yes, Finn Balor. I think a lot of people would be like, oh, Finn Balor. But like, okay. But even still, like, I mean, you know, it's not that big a deal, I think.
No, it's not.
And here's the thing. You said like, oh, we were thinking we would be getting him between like WrestleMania and SummerSlam. But there's also talk that Brock's done at SummerSlam. That Brock's last appearance is SummerSlam. So like,
which would make sense because I believe it's in Minnesota. So that would make a lot of sense.
So you're not going to run two retirement angles consecutively, or not consecutively, parallel. They're doing them consecutively right now. But there's the other thing too. They just got off a year-long retirement program. Like, you're not going to ring that bell twice so soon after it, especially with all of like the microscope that it fell under last year. I know you guys were big fans of it, and I was as well, but I would say that it has just as many critics as it has
absolutely
supporters. So yeah, you're not going to do it. And again, like, yes, there's lots of cool matches that AJ Styles could have with a lot of young guys, but in terms of like all the big dream matches, I think we got them. We got Shinsuke. We got Punk on Monday. I don't know, man. I feel like that's good enough.
And if you just go back to the end of the year, we got him and Punk we got him and Cena one last time. One of my dream matches that I talked about last year was him and Leon Slater, and we got that in the form of a tag team match.
Yeah, man.
You know that you have to really enjoy that kind of stuff. The fact that we got it, I'm happy.
Yeah, we didn't get it in a TNA ring, but I'll take it.
I'll take it for sure. I mean, the match was phenomenal regardless. So
I see what you did there. Yeah, man. I don't know. It seems like it's too perfect of a moment, like again with the history and everything behind it.
Mm.
So I'll tell you. But here's the thing: this is how great it is right now to be a wrestling fan. On Monday, when they said I'm putting the belt on the line, I was like, is AJ going to win the belt here? Because my thought was he was going to win the belt, and then Gunther would beat him for the belt.
Yep. And then possibly Punk goes and wins the Rumble.
That was kind of my thought.
Yeah.
But it didn't go that way. I ain't mad about it, but I'm just saying it got me thinking. Right. So kudos to WWE and everybody involved with Monday's show, because you got me.
Now, speaking of you got me, the last thing I want to talk about before we hit our predictions is my predictions. Because I had a prediction. I had a very solid prediction. I had a prediction that you couldn't beat. You weren't going to tell me my prediction was wrong until Saturday night, when my prediction went and won himself a number one contendership shot at Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, man.
I had Sami Zayn winning the Rumble for weeks. For weeks. I thought for sure Sammy's the guy. It's Sammy's turn. It's Sammy. This is Sammy time. There's no way Sammy's not going to win the Royal Rumble.
And it would have been a great place for him to do it.
100% it would. Just like it was a great place for him to win the number one contendership in his hometown of Montreal. So either way, it was going to be good for Sammy. I did not see Sammy winning that match in Montreal. I had Randy winning that, them having a great match at Royal Rumble with Drew retaining, and Sammy going on to face probably Drew, if not maybe Cody, if things had worked out at WrestleMania. That was where my brain was going. Now he wins that match. He's not in the Rumble at all. So now I'm thinking, now my predictions are all thrown off. And I don't know what I think is going to happen, because if you were telling me that him and Drew were happening at WrestleMania, I'm saying I think Sammy's got to have it. It's happening at Royal Rumble, though. In my heart of hearts, I think Sammy is going to lose this match, and he's not going to be walking into WrestleMania as a champion, which means I don't know what he's doing at WrestleMania. What do you think the plans are for Sammy moving forward?
I don't know, but that's kind of what has me excited, is that I feel like the McIntyre-Zayn match is truly a toss-up for me. On one hand, I think this could be a great time to give the belts to Sammy. The timing would be perfect. The right time, the right place. And let's face it, even if there are no plans for Sami Zayn to walk into WrestleMania with the WWE Championship, there is lots of time for him to take that, to get that belt off of him, especially in this era of WWE, where we've been seeing a lot more hot potato title changes, right? So I could absolutely see them be getting Sammy the win here. On the other hand, if you want to build Drew McIntyre as a big nasty heel, a giant dragon to be slayed at WrestleMania, a really good starting point would be to take Sami Zayn, who is a hero in Saudi Arabia right now, and dash his dreams and destroy the hopes of everybody in that building and that country. Absolutely. And fans like us who really want to see him win it. So, but to me, this is exciting. I love looking at this and saying, I really can't call a winner here. Now, when we get to the Rumble, we'll talk about an idea I have that I hope comes to fruition. I'm not going to lie and sit there and say, I won't be pulling for Sami Zayn 110% on Saturday. But I'm saying I will understand if he doesn't win it, and I will understand if he wins it.
All right, so let's get to the Rumble. I want to do both Rumbles. I want predictions. Here's what we're going to do. We've done this for the last couple of years in the show. We do 2 predictions per Rumble. We do the Tyler prediction and the Mike prediction.
Sure.
The logic and the heart. I want your logical prediction and I want your heart prediction.
I'll give you one better even than that, because I always have 3 picks going into the Rumble.
All right.
I have the person I think is going to win, the person I want to win, and then a dark horse, a person that I think could squeak in and win it all. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Where do you want to start? Women or men?
I'll let you decide, sir.
I'm going to start with you, but we're going to start with the women.
Okay. So this Rumble, I think, is a bit harder to call than the men's.
1000%. I agree with that. Yeah.
And again, I kind of like it that way. I do think there are a couple of front runners, however. I think the big talk right now is there's 2 names being ballied around, much like in the men's Rumble. I think there are 2 names that are being ballied around as the top choice, the odds-on favorites, which are, of course, the current women's tag team champions, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. I think that the majority of, if you were to go on a betting site right now, it would be one of those 2 names near the very top. I think that there's a lot of people out there predicting a match between those 2 for WrestleMania, given their histories. So just because she has won them in the past, I'm actually going to give the who do I think will win nod to Io Sky. I think WWE will give Io her first Royal Rumble victory, and they will give it to her. Now, who do I want to see win? That's a good question. I had given some thought to this as to who I think I want to win the matchup. And I would really like to see Liv Morgan win the match. I think she has come so close so many times.
Yeah.
And
the fact has been really, I've gone back and watched a lot of these Rumbles for the list today. She's been a staple in almost every single Rumble. Like, she's been a focal point in almost every Rumble.
Not just that, but how many times leading up to her injury was she the MVP of any show that she has been on? I think 100%. That she has more than proven herself time and time again of being capable of being in those top spots. And I think having a big spot at WrestleMania for her is deserved and overdue. So even though I don't think she will win it, she's who I would like to see win it. I want her to win it. Yeah.
And your dark horse?
I've been thinking long and hard about it. Originally heading into it, my dark horse was Raquel Rodriguez, but since she is going to be getting a title shot on Monday, that has changed slightly. Now it's a little up in the air, but I would say that my dark horse pick for someone I think who could come from out of nowhere to win it, is Jordan Grace. I think
is she not also getting a title shot coming up though?
I don't know. I don't know if they've announced anything official. I know that she says she's made it known that she wants the belt.
I see. Okay.
But that could be it. Tell you what, then I'll do an alternate. If Jordan Grace is getting a title shot, then I will switch my dark horse pick to Bianca Belair, who I think is probably overdue to come back. And could very well jump to the front of the line and pick up right where she left off.
Your picks are extremely interesting because of how I thought about doing my picks.
Okay.
Because the people that you said, I think these are your Vegas odd picks, those weren't the first people that I thought of right away this year.
Okay.
And then when you the way you talked about Liv Morgan, being the person you want to win, Liv Morgan is my I think is going to win pick.
Nothing would make me happier, man.
Liv Morgan is the person
for the reasons that I mentioned, or for other reasons.
For the reasons that you mentioned, but also if you were to poll wrestling fans right now and say, who do you think is going to win? I think Liv Morgan's name comes up way more times than you think. And I think a lot of people just think that, okay, ever since she came back from injury, she's been on fire. People want to see her on television. People, like, it's obviously the company is hot on her. I think they're just going to give her everything right now. And I kind of agree with that. She is the person that I think is going to win.
Okay, interesting.
My heart pick, the person I want to win, is Chelsea Green.
I considered her for my dark horse pick.
Okay.
And honestly, if she did win, I wouldn't be 100% like surprised.
Again, she's that person that you know, everybody seems to I think that there's this problem with her, quote unquote, losing all the time. But it's just going to make that win so much sweeter. And I don't know if you guys noticed the character she plays. She's even mentioned it. She mentioned on Chris Van Vliet's podcast, that's what I'm doing right now. She says, it's not a bad thing. I'm allowed to lose. Look at my character. Everything she does right now is fantastic. And I think her going in to WrestleMania looking for a title would be hilarious. I think there'd be so many great things about that going into WrestleMania. So she is my heart pick. It's interesting to me and very funny that your dark horse is Raquel Rodriguez, because my dark horse is Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, like I could see that happening too. That's kind of the beauty of the women's division right now is that, there is so much talent in that roster that you could really have any of those women win. And I'd be like, cool, let's go. Let's go. I'm ready for it.
Is there anybody you're expecting to see from either TNA or NXT come and make a shine in the Rumble this year?
I think we could see some TNA talent. I do. As to who, it's really hard to say. I think Xia Li could come back and make an appearance. She's on good terms with them, and she's their she's the Knockouts champion, I believe. So, like, not a bad idea.
Daria. She's not an active wrestler right now, is she? Though she's more of an authoritative figure.
I mean, Indy Hartwell has history with the company. She could come back and do something. It's tough to say. Here's the thing about the Royal Rumble now. WWE's rosters are rich enough that I don't necessarily think they need a lot of outsiders.
They don't. It worked the first couple years because you kind of needed that schmaz, that grandiose thing those first couple years.
Well, I think people also wanted surprises and they wanted legends of the past, just like in other Rumbles. They had to play catch up. Real quick. For sure.
Yeah. But they don't need to do that anymore. The roster is very solidified. The Rumble match itself has been such a success for the last 8 years that they don't need to make it a gimmick. It's known now that this is a match you'll want to watch. We haven't had a bad women's Rumble yet. We've had better ones. We've had better ones than others, but we haven't had a poor Rumble yet. So they don't need to be pulling tricks out of bags and rabbits out of hats anymore. They really don't.
No, I think given the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT rosters, they've got more than enough talent to fill those spots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Going to the men. Let's start with your logic pick.
So the guy I think my Vegas pick, if you will, is Roman Reigns. I think there's been a lot of talk about him going ahead and winning it. If I'm not mistaken, would this be his third Rumble victory? Because he won in 2015.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember another year that he won. I apologize.
I can't remember, but he has one too, which is an interesting, because my choice for my logic pick is Cody Rhodes, who will also could win a third one. So it's interesting. We're both going for that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the safe money pick. Roman's a big star. He hasn't been seen a whole lot. So it would be kind of, maybe it would give the illusion of being fresh and exciting to have him there. I don't know that it would be my pick, but I think that's the way they're going to go with. I think they're going to go with Roman. I don't know, man. Cody, absolutely, I could see him winning it again. I just don't know if they're going to ring that bell for for another year that close back to back to back. Maybe, I mean, like, I know the Jey Uso won last year, but I'm saying, like, I don't know, man. Here's what I'll say. This is the only thing I'm going to say about that. The rumor right now is that they're going to do Cody Roman 3. And I will go on record as saying right now, I do not want to see that.
I agree with you. Yeah.
And I think that if they do go that route, for me personally, I think it will be a sign of desperation. I just do not think you can surpass WrestleMania 40. So I think that you're just setting yourself up for failure by doing that. They would have to craft some sort of incredible story to make this work. And I don't think they can do it.
No. And I understand the story they're trying to tell. It is a different story than they've told in the past, but I don't think it's a WrestleMania story. This doesn't have to be a WrestleMania thing. It really doesn't, nor does it really belong on WrestleMania. There's several, and you call it a sign of desperation, which is funny because they don't need to be desperate. You can throw a dart at a wall and hit several good opponents for either men right now.
Okay, so I want to put you on the spot because my next question was going to be, let's take each of our picks and give them a WrestleMania opponent. So let's say Roman Reigns wins. Who would you put Roman Reigns against in Las Vegas? Remember, keep it in mind also, doesn't necessarily have to be the main event.
No,
just
it doesn't.
Who do you put Roman against?
I mean, it doesn't have to be a championship match. I think it happens between now and then, but Punk would not be a bad choice. Have him and Punk in a one-on-one this time rather than a triple threat. I don't hate that. Have Seth come back, have him and Seth one-on-one for the, like, bill it as the last time kind of thing. Yes, we've seen it, but we haven't seen it this way at a WrestleMania. You know, there's lots of stories to be told then. But also, there's so many people. This will be my answer for both these men. Braun Breaker could go up against either Cody or Roman and have a phenomenal WrestleMania match.
So you would put a championship on Braun Breaker and have him face Roman Reigns?
Well, no, because I don't have Roman winning the Rumble.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. No, I didn't explain myself. Sorry.
Well, I thought we were just picking Mania opponents for these guys.
I'm sorry. I'm saying if Roman wins the Rumble, in this hypothetical scenario, who do you put Roman against in Las Vegas if he wins the Rumble?
Oh, easy. Punk.
Okay, there you go. What about Cody?
I mean, I wouldn't hate him against Drew, but it's Punk. Again, Cody, Punk. We don't need Cody Drew again. It's just not needed. Cody Punk, I think, could tell a phenomenal story at WrestleMania. I really do.
I will say that I think I would prefer Drew and Roman over Roman and Punk.
Sure.
Cody and Punk could be good, but I don't necessarily know that Punk's going to hold on to the belt until Mania either.
Right. Yeah, we don't know because who knows? There's still could. Well, no, he can't lose the belt because he's not defending it at Royal Rumble, but he could. He very well could lose the belt at Elimination Chamber. And from what we're seeing right now in WWE TV, he could lose it at a house show for all we know. They're getting back to those days where anything can happen on Raw or SmackDown, and I love that. So that's your logic pick. Who do you want to see win the Royal Rumble?
Kevin Owens. I think I don't know.
You think Owens is coming back? You think he's ready?
I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to tell, especially with neck surgery. You don't want to mess with that stuff.
No.
But I'm saying they've been awfully quiet about it.
Can you imagine if Sammy somehow pulled it off and beat Drew this weekend? Holy shit.
That's what I'm saying. And now you see why I want it.
Yeah.
I want Owens to come back. Phenomenal. I want Sammy to win the belt, and I want those two to have the Mania match they deserve for the championship in Las Vegas. Look, you don't have to give them Sunday night main event. Honestly, I don't care about that. Give them the Saturday night main event slot. That's fine. But every time these guys fight, it's magic.
If this was to happen, okay, if on Saturday Sammy wins the WWE Championship, Owens wins the Royal Rumble, the only thing this can mean is that February and March are going to be two of the greatest months of television we have ever seen. Because the lead up to this match is going to be probably like, and the match itself is going to be phenomenal, but the lead up to the match is going to be nothing short of artwork. It's going to be amazing because these two don't know how to tell a bad story. They don't. And I love everything they've ever done together, going all the way back to ROH and everything. They've never done something bad together. For them to tell a WrestleMania story like this with the championship on the line and everything, I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be a dream come true if it did. It really would, especially from a little boy from Montreal. I mean, that's kind of the dream. That's really cool.
100%.
My heart pick, my need changed because I've been talking about a guy for a long time, and then I kind of pushed that aside and said it's got to be Sammy. I've been on the Sammy trade for a long time, and now that Sammy's out, I suppose I'll just go back and say Braun Breaker. A lot of people tell me that it's too early to do this for Braun, and Braun's not ready, and I just don't buy that. I think Braun going into a program, especially if he's going on in with Punk, would be really good for WrestleMania. Now, again, things can happen between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. Maybe Punk loses it to who knows? But what happens between then and then? Does Seth come back anytime? There was a big faux pas on a radio station a couple days ago that says that maybe Seth is going to be in the Royal Rumble. And if so, maybe it's my dark horse, because holy shit. Right? Speaking of dark horses, who's your dark horse?
Braun Breaker. Braun
Breaker is your dark horse. Okay.
Yeah.
So I gave a lot of thought to, because the other guy I've been talking about all year was Dominic Mysterio. So he'd be an easy dark horse for me, but I just don't see it happening as much as I did 6 months ago. So I'm going to pull a name out of the hat for a return guy. Why would he be in a main event spot at WrestleMania? Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. Remember, I don't care.
Not necessarily main event.
No, not necessarily. Why would he win the Royal Rumble? A lot of people would make fun of me for even saying this, but I'm going to say it anyways because I personally would love to see it. But imagine we see the return of Penta and he goes and wins the whole damn thing. We know the office is hot on him. We know people love him. I think they would just tear the roof off that place if Penta won the Royal Rumble.
It would be pretty cool, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like he's very exciting,
and Penta and Drew would be a phenomenal match at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, from an in-ring standpoint, those guys could go. So I mean, I would not hate it, especially because I think Jey Uso winning last year really shows that WWE is willing to throw things against the wall and see what sticks. I really liked Jey winning the Rumble last year because to me, it opened up this door that says, yeah, man, the dark horses can win the Royal Rumble. And I think that's a good thing. And, you know, like, again, like I know there are people who are upset about like, well, the guy who wins the Rumble should go on last, but I think this does allow you to elevate more guys that way. And having a guy like Penta win the Royal Rumble could serve as a way to elevate him without necessarily saying you're the guy now. And I think that makes the Rumble less predictable and by proxy, more fun.
And we've seen precedents set with these. Charlotte Flair won the Rumble and went after the NXT title.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen these precedents set where you don't really necessarily need to be going for, you know, that spot to make it special. So I don't know. Penta's my dark horse just because I love me some Penta. That's it. That's all.
Hey, wouldn't be mad at it. That's for sure.
Time to talk about the list, sir. Because
yes,
you and I have concocted something freaking weird. Not only Not only has Tyler abandoned the podcast this week, but so has anything resembling Law and Order. I'm glad Tyler's not here to see what we're about to do because his OCD wouldn't be able to handle this. We are going so far off the reservation, it's not even funny. So you and this is your idea. You gave me an idea. I loved it. So I went and did it. First of all, we decided to go with the women's. We chose a women's rumble and we took 30 numbers. I put 30 numbers into a hat and I picked a number. That number happened to be the number 5. Now, there has been 8 women's Royal Rumbles in history so far. So what we are doing is we are choosing every single woman to draw number 5, and we're ranking their performances in the Royal Rumble. You think that's weird? It gets weirder.
Sure does.
Because we're going out of order. We are going to be giving the list in order of the year. We're starting at 2018 and we're going to 2025. And we're not doing 7 to 1. We're going to tell you 2018, that person is ranked X number from Mike and Adam. So we have 7 people. I'm going to tell you who the 7 people are. I'm not going to tell you the years. They go from 2018 to 2025. Do the math yourself. We have Lita, Mickie James, Lana, Shotzi Blackheart, Aaliyah, Shayna Baszler, Jordynne Grace, and Chelsea Green. These are all 8 people who drew number 5 in the Royal Rumble. And we are about to rank them based on their performance strictly on that Royal Rumble. Now, we did discuss this beforehand, but do you have certain criteria how you grade somebody on a Rumble performance? Because I have my own, and I don't know if you look at things differently.
So there are several things that I looked at, and it's funny because you might see me looking down here because I'm just scrambling, because here's how I did my list. The first thing I did was take a look at a couple of cold, hard facts, data. Mm-hmm. How long were they in the Rumble?
I did the same thing. Yeah.
How many eliminations did they have? Mm-hmm. When were they eliminated? All that kind of cold data.
And I'll be giving all those stats while we do this.
Then I went back and I watched all their performances and considered all the little nuances and X factors. And let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. The order of my list, based on the cold, hard facts, looks very different from my final list, which I am now rearranging because I forgot to do so after watching those matches. So it looks very different.
I actually did 2 watch throughs of each Rumble. Not the whole Rumble, mind you, from when number 5 entered to when number 5 was eliminated. I did 2 watch throughs because I just needed to, because my list looked one way when I was done all my watch throughs, and then watched again and my list changed because I started noticing little things here and there. Like, okay, yeah, well, that person was in that long and had that many eliminations, but did we really see them other way? Did the camera pick them up the whole time they were there? Did we care about them the whole time? Or did this person who was only in for 3 minutes, did we cared about them the whole 3 minutes and they made a splash and we remember them? Does that hold more weight? Do those 3 minutes hold more weight than someone who was in there for 25 minutes and we didn't care? We're going to find out. So here's what we'll do. We'll do guests always go first in the show. So what we'll do is we'll start with Lita in 2018. You'll give your placement. I'll give my placement. We'll discuss a bit and then we'll move on.
Okay.
So 2018, drawing number 5 is Lita. She lasted 5 minutes and 51 seconds in this Rumble, being eliminated by Becky Lynch. She claims 2 eliminations in only 5 minutes and 51 seconds. She eliminated Mandy Rose and Tamita. And she holds, of this whole list, she holds the 3rd shortest reign of time in the Royal Rumble in this list.
Yes.
So, Adam, where does Lita stand in your in your top 7? Remember, there's 8 people. We're a top 7 podcast. One person can't make your list.
One person does get the honorable mention spot, and for Lita, coincidentally, we picked number 5, and she ends up at number 5 on my list. She was the first Hall of Famer and the first real big surprise for a women's Royal Rumble, which, not necessarily reflective of her performance, but something I think was worth kind of noticing. I'll tell you what was definitely noticing. Oh boy. I love Lita, but my God, was she rusty in this matchup. There were moments where Sasha Banks was kicking her in the corner and it was nothing but air. It was, ooh. Her moonsault looked great though. So I'll say this. She started off really rusty and then the oil got going and, by the end of it, she did all right. So I would say this, like, not terribly impressive, like from an in-ring standpoint, but she got 2 eliminations out of it. She got some big pops. The moonsault looked good. So I would say not as impressive as some of the others that I ranked on this list, but good enough that I think that, she was better than some. Right in the middle of the pack.
That's very interesting. Now, as I've said many times on this show, the way I rank things when I talk, this isn't boxing, this isn't UFC. So I don't only consider in ring, bell to bell stuff. To me, the match starts the minute your entrance music hits. And
sure,
the match,
of course, yes.
And the match doesn't start until you leave. Crowd interaction plays a long way with me. Did you get a pop? What are you doing other than wrestling? All that plays for me. And because of all that, Lita is actually my number 3.
You know what the funny thing is? She was my number 3 originally when I was looking at the data. Yeah.
And she was my number 2 originally.
Yeah.
I mean, in only 5 minutes, she had 2 eliminations, which is more than most women on this list today.
Yes.
So she had 2 eliminations, and no schlubs either. I mean, Mandy Rose and Tamina, like good eliminations.
Can I also bring up something real quick and interrupt you? Did you notice that we saw a lot of the same faces in a lot of these Rumbles? Like Tamina got numbers around the same time. Mandy Rose got the same number usually around this time. So just interesting stuff you notice.
I was thinking the same thing. I also look at eliminations, like how were they eliminated? How did they take elimination? How did was their elimination memorable? Being eliminated by the man is not anything to be upset about. So I think that goes a long way with her as well. So yeah, Lita is my number 3.
All right, so we've got a little bit of a gap on that one.
And I would say she's got one of the biggest pops of the night.
Oh, unquestionably. Like I said, first surprise ever in a Royal Rumble. So for a women's Royal Rumble, so that was going to be big for sure. All right, man. So 2019, right?
2019. We have Mickie James coming in. This is not the year she came in as the TNA champion.
She was still on the main roster at this point. She was, I think, on SmackDown at this point.
Right. So this is Mickie James coming in and lasting 11 minutes and 38 seconds. Unfortunately, no eliminations for Mickie James, and was eliminated by Tamina. Good showing by Mickie. It was, not exactly the prime of her career. Where did you rank Mickie?
She's on the outs right now. She got the number 7 spot. She just edged in. She went on a really good run when she came in. Nice House of Fire spot for her. Great job of feeding for both Nikki Cross 100%. And Tamina. So she did some great selling. Top rope Thez press was impressive. And cool elimination, jumping in midair and taking the super kick to get eliminated by Tamina. So why number 7 for her? Just not enough in between. Like if I was not paying as close attention to her as I was for this list, just completely unremarkable. And I love Mickie James. Like, she's one of my all-time greats in my book, but like just this performance, just the way she was booked, just not impressive at all.
Mickie James is also my number 7.
There you go.
She came really close to being my honorable mention. She almost didn't make the list. It just wasn't like I agree with everything you said. She had some good moments. She came in and she did her job properly, and she got some of those girls over that that she should have gotten over. But at the end of the day, if I would have watched the whole Rumble, by the time that Rumble's done, I forgot that Mickie was in it, and that's absolutely not a good sign.
No,
we're moving to 2020,
and
this is Lana,
yes,
who lasted 2 minutes and 29 seconds being eliminated by Liv Morgan.
I believe that makes her the shortest amount of time of all the participants.
That is absolutely true.
Yes.
And she is credited on Wikipedia with one elimination. I put an asterisk beside that because she was technically already eliminated when she eliminated Liv Morgan.
Still counts.
So I put an asterisk beside that, but she is credited with one elimination of Liv Morgan. I'm interested to see where you put to see where you put her.
I put Lana at number 3. She's got your lead spot. I loved this performance. And this is another one where the data, she was way down the list near the bottom. Watch the performance, and she shot right up to number 3 on this one. This is the definition of maximizing your minutes because, like we said, of all the women on this list, she's in there for the shortest period of time, but my God, did she make use of those 2 minutes and 29 100%. Seconds? Because from the moment she gets out there, first of all, love the Captain Marvel cosplay. Great stuff. But she gets on the mic and she's getting huge heat from the crowd. They are absolutely hating her. The cat fight with her and Liv Morgan got a huge reaction. She was very entertaining when she got eliminated. It got a huge pop. And then again, more heat when she took Liv out of the match too. So I can't, in terms of this is the thing. If we're judging it on performance, she gets top numbers. Just a great performance. So she got my number 3 spot.
Lana spent a minute in my number 2 spot and longer in my number 3 spot until Lita had to smooch her out. So she landed in my number 4 spot. Lana is my number 4 for all the reasons you just said. Her performance, she made those 2 minutes count.
Absolutely.
At the end of that Rumble, I remember those 2 minutes. And Liv was only in that match for 55 seconds. And because of her moment with Lana in that whole situation, I remember those 55 seconds. If they switched spots and Liv was number 4, or was number 5, or we were doing let's say we were doing number 6s, Liv would still be on my list for those 55 seconds. She would, because that whole interaction. I loved everything about it.
Yeah, just a tremendous job.
Moving on to the one and only Royal Rumble to take place in the Thunderdome. Drawing number 5 was Shotzi Blackheart coming in for 3 minutes and 46 seconds. Of course, driving her little tank and shooting somebody in the face. Getting 0 eliminations and being eliminated by Shayna Baszler. Where do you got Shotzi?
I love Shotzi Blackheart, but I did not love her performance. She is my honorable mention. Didn't have quite enough. Here's the thing. The entrance was fun. But the entrance was Billie Kay. It was not Shotzi. It was all Billie Kay.
Billie Kay was the MVP of that Royal Rumble.
She's so
Billie Kay
great.
She was 100% the MVP of that Royal Rumble. The stuff she did with Jillian was phenomenal. Everything that she did, I loved everything about that. She made the Thunderdome work for her. It's like, I don't have fans. I don't need fans. I'm going to make this work for me. And she did. I think both her and Peyton are phenomenal, but I really always saw, for some reason, I think people thought Peyton was the star of that team. And I always thought Billie just had that edge. She just had something a little bit more special. She definitely had the comedic chops. Yeah.
I would say it depends on what you value more. If you're if you're a person that values the in-ring athleticism, you're a Peyton person. And if you like character work, you're a Billie Kay person. Now, I will say she did Shotzi, getting back to the subject, so memorable that we've been talking about Billie Kay. Shotzi did have a great elimination where Shayna grabbed her leg and essentially pushed her backwards over the top rope. Cool elimination. But again, it just wasn't enough for me. So she's my honorable mention.
Shotzi is also my honorable mention. I love Shotzi as well. One of my favorite people to get the honor of meeting when you and I did the summit. She was a phenomenal human being, but that's not gonna get you on the top 7. Yeah, that's not gonna get you on the top 7 today. Let's move to 2022. Back in front of a live crowd, we have Aaliyah. Finally, somebody hitting over over the 15-minute mark.
By quite a bit.
22 minutes and 50 seconds, making her the second longest person in a Rumble on our list here today. But in those 22 minutes, she had 0 eliminations and was eliminated by the queen herself, Charlotte. Where do you put Aaliyah?
Number 6. That's a lot of time and a whole lot of nothing during it.
I'm going to sort of disagree because she's my number 5.
Okay.
It is a lot of time and it's a whole lot of nothing. But when we got something, we got something. The first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes were tremendous. Everything in between, the cameras couldn't find her. We didn't know she was in there anymore. She was never on camera again. When she hit the ring, she was making her time with all those veterans. She was making sure that she was with every vet in that ring for those first 5 minutes. And then those last 5 minutes, she was in the ring with every one of those vets. She was doing some great stuff with Natalya and stuff like that. Then she got eliminated and it was gone. But she could have been, if she would have worked for more of the time, she would have been in a better spot on my list.
I don't know, man. I got to disagree with you. Like, there was a pop when she ripped her shirt off, and that was great. But I mean, and also, like, you said that, like, she wasn't on camera. No, she just wasn't focused on. And I'll tell you how I know that, because one of my notes is, my God, this woman could not stop smiling during this entire match. I don't know if she was just feeling it or she was nervous because it was her first Rumble. I don't know, but she was the first woman. I think she was the first woman eliminated in the match too. And just a whole lot of nothing to me. So I don't know, man. Just was not impressive to me. And that hurts me to say that because she's a Canadian girl. But yeah, didn't do it for me.
I know nothing about her. I never really followed her career. I don't know what she's really done, but I didn't hate her performance here. Moving on to 2023, we have Shayna Baszler going in for 13 minutes and 28 seconds. Something to be said about being eliminated by the entirety of Damage Control.
Absolutely.
And 0 eliminations.
Yeah, man. This is another one where, looking at the numbers, I didn't care much for it. And then watching the performance absolutely moved her up several spots. So she lands at number 4 on my list. Good run to start off. Spent most of her time lying on the mat as a negative against her. But man, when Natty came in, whoo, did she wake up? Vicious knee to Candice LeRae's face. I actually rewound it because Kayla heard me go, ooh, and she said, what? And I said, watch this. And I rewound the knee. Holy moly. And what a cool elimination. Choking out Natty on the apron, and that causes her to get knocked off, eliminating both her and Natty by Damage Control. Really cool stuff. I think, again, this was a situation where very much like your argument for Leah, I think that's my argument for Shayna. Came in hot and really fired up at the end, and then spent the rest of the time in between lying on the mat. So I couldn't give her a higher spot than 4, but I think that when she was running, man, she was in another gear.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they're really interchangeable, but I gave her the 6th spot on my list. Her and Aaliyah could just go like that for me, but it didn't. The things you mentioned, yes, they were great, but didn't do anything for me otherwise. I do wish they would have given her an elimination or two, make it a little bit more special.
I have a feeling our next 2 are going to line up perfectly.
This is
maybe I'm wrong, but
I don't know about that. This is interesting to me because there's only two left, and neither of us have mentioned our number one or our number two.
Nope.
So this is very, very interesting, which speaks to the fact that if you're kind of looking at things, the Rumble just keeps getting better and better every single year. Because we're at the last two Rumbles, and we're at the last two Rumbles, and we haven't talked
at least for folks entering early in the Rumbles.
Yeah, exactly.
It keeps getting better.
So 2024, my girl and yours, one of our mutual favorites, Jordynne Grace, the Juggernaut herself, lasts 19 minutes and 10 seconds. With zero eliminations, unfortunately, and eliminated by Bianca Belair.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Your girl and my girl. God, did it ever break my heart to put her at number 2? But she's my number 2.
Mine too.
Man, just came in and dominated right from the get-go, man.
Yes. Those first few minutes was the Jordynne Grace show at first. Yeah.
The hug with Naomi. So good. Yeah. And then goes right into the two of them just hockey fighting one another. Oh my God. Yes. Get right in the vein. Right in the vein. Just hook it up there. The double suplex and standoff with Ivy Nile. Like every time someone sized up to Jordynne, the crowd was into it, man.
One thing that took me out of it, and this is not Jordynne's fault, so she doesn't lose a point for this because it's not her fault. But one thing that brought me out of this whole moment is in those first 5 minutes of her coming in, the camera, obviously the guys in the booth, everybody, they want her. They're focused on her. We're watching her. But Michael Cole and Corey Graves have a whole different idea of what's going on. They're talking about juggernauts, but never once they mention that that's her fucking nickname. They're calling WWE a juggernaut. They're calling the Royal Rumble a juggernaut. It's just lost in them. They're staring at the goddamn juggernaut. Then, this has nothing to do with Jordynne. It just happens to happen during this when I want them to be talking about Jordynne. They start talking about whether or not two people could win the Royal Rumble. And Corey Graves says, has there ever been two winners? And Cole's like, well, no. You know, they went into overtime once with John Cena and Batista. And I'm ripping my hair out. Like, Cole, of all people, you?
So, funny story. Obviously, as I said previously, Kayla was watching these with me. Now she's not watching, she's cross-stitching while I'm watching these things.
Sure.
But Cole says that line and I say, excuse me, you did have a tie? Lex Luger, Bret Hart in 1994. And I look over at
7-year-old could tell you that.
I look over at Kayla who's staring at me and I just quietly go, sorry, my wrestling autism came out. My apologies.
Man, it's so ridiculous. And it ruined everything for me because this is the time that you're supposed to be focusing on Jordynne. Jordynne's supposed to be, she's because she's not with the company. It's this TNA juggernaut coming out and you don't give a shit. And that pissed me off. But that didn't affect her place on here because that's not her fault. What affected her place is just lack of interest after the first little bit.
Well, I'll tell you, they gave her lots of opportunities to get the focus back on her because it felt like every couple minutes she was squaring up to somebody, deadlifting Tegan Knox, completely powering her over, showing that off. And I may also say the best elimination on this list, taking that KOD on the apron from Bianca Belair to get eliminated.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something, like it is very, very clear that Shawn Michaels came up to somebody in the booking production meeting and said, she will be mine. Oh yes, she will be mine. So you do everything in your power to make her look good for when we scoop her up.
Legend has it that him and that Shawn and Triple H were standing together and they gave each other a look of, she's mine. No, she's mine. No, she's mine. And I believe it. 100% I believe it.
And rumor has it that in that moment, they broke out into song and sang, "The girl is mine," together in perfect harmony.
Oh, and this is the reason AI was invented.
I apologize to anybody listening to this podcast born after 1990. You won't understand that reference.
Rob wasn't born after 1990.
True. He'll get it. He'll appreciate it.
Yeah, and he's the only person listening to this podcast.
All right, so we all know who number one is.
I'm so happy our number ones coincided on this.
Well, who else could it be? What a performance. Oh my God, what a performance.
For those who don't know, 2025 saw the longest performance on our list here today. Staying 26 minutes and 52 seconds with 2 eliminations, tying Lita, is Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green.
We'll talk about her elimination in a few minutes. She eliminated Lash Legend and B-Fab. Not quite as impressive as Lita's eliminations, but impressive nonetheless. Eliminations are eliminations. And if you asked her, by her performance and her reaction every time that elimination happened, she might as well have won the championship right there, right then, because it was phenomenal the way she acted. I love Chelsea Green. It's so funny. I've talked about this before. Chelsea's first go around in WWE, I just she wasn't for me. I wasn't a big fan. I enjoyed some of her stuff. I was 50-50 with on her TNA run. But okay. She was just never my girl. Then when she went back to TNA after WWE, I started paying a little bit more attention. I'm like, okay, I see where I was wrong, and I really got into her again. Since she's been back in WWE, she is one of my favorite people in the world. There's nothing this woman can do wrong. I've loved everything she's done since returning, including this Royal Rumble spot. Her being eliminated by Piper Niven only made sense. That was a great spot to have done. I loved everything she did because she doesn't do anything without emoting. She doesn't do anything without you realizing she's done it. She is probably the best improviser / actor in the WWE. She's a stage director's wet dream because the way she emotes, the way she shows everything, and I love her for it. This is one of the reasons I really hope she wins this Saturday, because if we get what we got in 2025 again in 2026 and have her go over in the end, man, we're all luckier and we're all better for it.
I would say, you mentioned that she's always doing something, which is absolutely a big, huge reason why she's number one on my list as well. Mm-hmm. And I would say that I hate to bring up my wife again, but that's a lie. I love bringing up my wife any chance that I get. But at random points during this, and even in the previous year, in 2024, I would just laugh at something and Kayla would go, "What?" And I said, "Just Chelsea Green, man. Like, do you want to know what my favorite spot of her whole performance of this year of 2025 was?" There is a scene, and again, I had to rewind this and show this to Kayla because this made me laugh so hard. There is a spot where Maxine comes in, Maxine Dupree, and she goes on a tear, right?
Yeah.
And this whole time, Chelsea's been playing dead in the corner, and this is the thing, because the camera's not focused on her when you're watching, you miss it. But because we're paying attention to her for this list, right? You just see her in the corner going like clapping and like, yeah. And then goes back to playing dead. And oh my God, I lost it. I was like, that is hilarious. Like, this woman acts like the camera is on her all the time. And that is, I think, a big part of her success, is that it doesn't matter what she's doing. She is performing as if the focus is on her, because she never knows what someone's going to catch, what someone's going to see, right? And she wants to make sure that if someone's looking at her, they're going to be entertained by her, man. The bit, even right from the get-go, like they talk about, like, she had the fastest elimination in Rumble history. They start off the whole bit with her throwing everybody over the top rope, eliminates nobody, but acts like she won the Rumble, and then of course everybody turns around and beats her up, which is great.
What a great spot. What an amazing spot. I was actually watching that spot with my son. I was finishing up my research, and one of my bribe methods was, when you're done your homework, you can come and watch 20 minutes of wrestling with me. I'll be watching Chelsea Green's, specifically Chelsea Green's WrestleMania Royal Rumble performance.
Yeah.
And he, if I say you can watch wrestling, he's in. Doesn't matter what it is. So he sits there and he's watching, and he's good. He's like, okay, so we're watching her. We're watching her. Okay. And he's doing the whole thing. So when they all beat up on her, he's like, is she a bad guy? I'm like, yeah. He goes, yes, yeah. Oh, so good.
Going back to this idea that she's always doing something or always making herself part of it. One of the things that, again, I tracked when watching her was like, every person who got into the ring, she took a move from. Like, she made sure that she bumped for every person that came in after her. Every person, even if it was just a drop kick or whatever, but she didn't spend any time like just hiding in the corner, except for, again, like the playing dead spot then the clap. Like, again, if she was doing it, it was for a purpose. It was for comedic effect.
And that one spot where she was outside the ring, but she got herself talked about by the commentary guys, because
she went over. She made Michael them pay attention to her.
Michael Cole's yelling at her, "Are you eliminated? Are you eliminated?" She was always a focal point, and that's what you need to do.
Calling timeout. She was calling timeout. Great.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that gave them something to talk about, right? Like, you mentioned that she had 2 eliminations, and that you're like, B-Fab and Lash Legend. Yeah. Okay. So they weren't bigger names, but here's a small thing that we can kind of put as a little X factor. B-Fab was also the first elimination of the entire Rumble match. So this, Chelsea got the very first elimination of the Rumble, which I think is, a little thing. Also, the fact that she eliminated B-Fab after Lash Legend essentially took her out with a kick. So so Chelsea didn't even do anything. She just took advantage. Great heel work. Also, can we really just appreciate the bit where Bianca and Lash and B-Fab and all those girls got in the middle, and then Chelsea just walks over to them and tries to insert herself like she's part of the group? Oh my God. Like, this woman is incredible. So good, man.
She is, and being Canadian, we can actually say this. She is a national treasure. She really is. She is one of the most special people we have in wrestling right now.
And then after that, she eliminates Lash Legend by causing a bunch of confusion. And then to top it all off, like you said, her getting eliminated by Piper was hilarious. But to me, even better was Piper comes out, Chelsea's yelling at her to come in, and as soon as Piper gets in the ring, what does Chelsea do? She literally stands behind her like a bully and being like, come on. What can you say? She's absolutely incredible.
It's hilarious. My son's watching this, and we try our best to really be very body positive in my family. You know what I mean? We stay away from certain derogatory terms when it comes to body types and stuff like that. So when he's watching this and Piper comes out, she gets behind her and Finn goes, "That's a smart move. She's a very powerful woman." I'm like, I love you, kid.
I mean, if I was going to describe Piper Niven in one word, it would be tank.
Yeah, right.
She's a tank, man.
So that was a great spot. And then having her accidentally get bumped out, and Piper's pure guilt, and good stuff. Love it.
Okay, so shall we quickly run down our lists in order, just to kind of do the quick comparison between the two? Can we do that?
I thought you were going to say, should we go? Should we run down our honorable mentions?
No.
I'm like, Shayna Baszler.
Yes, let's do that right now. So my honorable mention, Shotzi. Your honorable mention, also Shotzi, correct?
Or I meant Shotzi, not Shayna. Yes, Shotzi. Yes.
My number 7, Mickie James. Your number 7,
Mickie James.
My number 6, Aaliyah. Your number 6,
Shayna Baszler.
My number 5, Lita. Your number 5,
Aaliyah.
My number 4, Shayna Baszler. Your number 4,
Lana.
My number 3, Lana. Your number 3,
Lita.
My number 2, Jordan Grace. Your number 2,
Jordan Grace.
My number 1, Chelsea Green. Your number 1,
Chelsea Green.
Thank you. Thank you. I was trying to serve that up on you so that you could do it, and you didn't let me down, sir. Thank you. So now, of course, the question is to the listeners, who had the better list? It is now up to you to go watch the number 5 entrant of every Women's Royal Rumble and tell us who had the better list.
I absolutely love this. I like keeping things fresh. We talked about this on the draw that you can hear this coming through, or if you're listening to this today, it comes out tonight at 11 o'clock. You can hear it on TSN 690 radio. We talked about how after 6 years, it's getting harder and harder to think of lists, especially Royal Rumble, because the first few years we were doing 2 Rumble lists a year. I would have a list one week, Tyler would have a list the next week. So that's so now after 6 years, we have 10 Royal Rumble lists between us because, there's years we only had 1 or whatever, but
sure,
there's 10. That's a lot.
Yes, it is.
So now you're like, okay, what do you want to do this year? You want to do best Royal Rumble moments? We did that in 2022.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You want to do let's do best entrances. We did that in 2020.
Right.
So it's hard to come up with these unique and interesting lists that people want to listen to. So when you shot this idea, we were coming up with ideas. When you shot this idea, I'm like, let's just do it, because I guarantee no one else is going to do this list.
When you're all out of ideas, who do you turn to? This guy.
Love that so much. Sir, once again, for the last time, last time today, anyways, we're going to talk about it a lot in the next few weeks. Tell the people, give your socials out, not only for yourself, but for Rock Solid Wrestling. Tell us where Rock Solid Wrestling is going to be in the next 2 months, and when and how we can listen to Talk Solid Wrestling.
Well, the first thing is to check us out on our socials: Facebook, Instagram, X. Real Rock Solid is what you're going to be looking for. You can get all the information on that via our website, rocksolidpro.ca. If you happen to be in the Wasaga Beach area or surrounding area, come check us out as part of Snowman Mania. We're putting on a show on Monday, January the 16th. That's Family Day here in Ontario, Canada. This show is included as part of the festival weekend. So you pay your $3 for your button, and then you get the show.
I hate to do this to you, but January the 16th was 11 days ago.
Right, sorry.
So, so if I could get a better date.
February 16th, which is Family
Thank you, sir.
Day. So earlier when I said I made a mistake, I was actually correct the first time. If there's a lesson to be learned from this, kids, it's trust your instincts, or write the information down. That's probably even better, honestly. So maybe just don't trust anything I say. Visit our socials and check out our website. That would probably be best.
My lesson is don't eat KFC right before bed.
Also very good advice. The day after our Wasaga Beach show, February 16th, on February 16th, will be the debut of Talk Solid Wrestling on Tuesday, February the 17th, with our first episode for Uncle Custom Marcus Ryan. Now, if you want to get some Rock Solid Wrestling a little bit earlier than that, this show is being released on the Thursday. This Saturday, in just a few days, I'm so excited about this. Rock Solid Wrestling is a part of the Bracebridge Fire and Ice Festival 2026. We've got a vendor booth set up there. It's going to be incredible. You can come and have a chance to, first of all, talk to me. I will be there. Not that that's much of a draw, but here's what is a draw. You will learn more about an upcoming Rock Solid Wrestling event that hasn't even been announced yet.
Ooh.
But you can get all the details about it at our booth, and how you can get involved with the show. You can score deals on early bird tickets for said show, a chance to win VIP passes, photo ops with the Canadian Heavyweight Championship, and more. That's all day Saturday. downtown Bracebridge for the Fire and Ice Festival. More details can be found at fireandIcebracebridge.com. That's all one word, fire and A&D, ice, Bracebridge.com. Please come check it out. We would love to see you there, especially since it's going to be, outdoors in the snow, like true Canadians. We want to be out there celebrating, and this is a great festival to be a part of. We're so excited for it, and we want to see you out there.
That brings me back to like 1997 in our backyard wrestling days, building the ring in the snow. Love that. Absolutely.
Well, tell you what, if you show up, Mike, I'll put on an exhibition with you. It won't be up to the Rock Solid Wrestling standards, but we'll do it.
Oh man. Well, the minute I show up, the standards get dropped. It's it's fine. Well, thank you for all that. Make sure you check out all that from Rock Solid Wrestling. We love some Rock Solid Wrestling here at Count It Out. We always have, and we always will. We need to make 2026 the year that we get lots more of the Rock Solid crew right here on this show. I have a couple names that I really want to talk to this year. So we're going to make that happen this year, 100%. Until next week, my friends, I know you already hit that subscribe button. I know you did, but you want to just make sure, just make sure. If you didn't do it, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Tell your grandma about the show. She loves us. I know she does. Just make sure she's subscribed too. And until next week, you have been counted out.
Cheers.